Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the summary for the day of 266 for the 16th of November. And let's start off with weird statements. So yesterday we reported that there is this two of these missiles falling into Poland, and that the conclusion is that it's actually surface-to-air missiles coming from Ukraine. And however, Ukraine doubled down and said that, and Zelenskyy said that he insisted that he has no doubt that the missiles that caused explosion in Poland is not Ukrainian, and he insisted that Ukraine must have access to the site of the explosion in Poland. And then he further tripled down that he has no doubts in the reports of the commander of the Air Force and the commander-in-chief, Zelenskyy, that this is not Ukrainian missile and is not their missile strike. So he's double and tripling down on this issue, which basically Poland, US, even Estonia has, and even Hungary, everyone has insisted that this is definitely not a Russian missile, and they all concluded this is Ukrainian. So this is creating some tension, and distrust in Zelenskyy and Ukraine, because to them this is blatant lying from Zelenskyy and the Ukrainian side. But of course, if you are really pro-Ukrainian, I can tell you this is definitely Russian missile. So there is this very interesting situation over in Belarus. There's a Ukrainian drone shot down near the city of Pinsk, and a Ukrainian drone, which is a quadcopter, got shot down with small arms by the Belarusian forces. Apparently the Ukrainian drone is trying to do reconnaissance of the Belarusian troops around the area of Pinsk, and so this is something I thought is a bit interesting. And moving on to the Southern Front, we have nothing at the Southern Front. Nothing is happening. And moving on to the Zaporizhzhia Line, at the Zaporizhzhia Line, most of the line, there's nothing happening across the main of the line, except at Velika Novoselka. So according to War Gonzo, they call it an interesting movement of the Russian Federation attacking a bridgehead over at Zaporizhzhia Novoselka, which is basically Velika Novoselka. So I believe that, so the bridgehead might be referring to maybe this bridge, or maybe just a crossing around along the Mokryali River, which means that the fighting over at Vremivka might be over for the fighting to spill over to Velika Novoselka. We will continue to monitor the situation over at the Velika Novoselka region. Moving on to the Donetsk Front. At the Donetsk Front, there is a, as per yesterday, I have reported there is a Ukrainian counteroffensive towards Stepny over here, south of the southeast or southwest of Donetsk city, and fighting is reported at Novomykhailivka. According to War Gonzo, there is this ground battles, as per they say. There is no more fighting around the Voleda Polivka region, at least it is not reported. At Marinka, the Russians are reportedly repulsed by the Ukrainian forces, according to the Ukrainian armed forces. As per yesterday's report, there is this fighting reported at Georgievka, or Georgievka, which is kind of weird because the fighting shouldn't be around here, since the fighting is still at Marinka. So not exactly sure how the fighting arrived at this position. We'll continue to see what is this happening. And over at the Krasnohorivka side, the Ukrainians are the one doing the counteroffensive, fighting towards Staromykhailivka. So if you are lost, this is Donetsk city. It is on the direct west side of Donetsk city at Staromykhailivka. And over at the Pinsk region in the northwestern side of Donetsk city, fighting is reported at Nevelsky, at Pervomaisky, and at Vodian. So the Russians are continuing to focus on this part of the Donetsk city. One of the main reason why there is this focus in this region is partly because there is an airport here, and around this region, especially at the city of Avdiivka, is where the Russians allegedly no, the Ukrainians are allegedly shelling Donetsk city from, and so which is why there is this hyper importance for the Russians to actually capture this entire region here in the north and the northwest of the Donetsk city, to put the Ukrainian forces out of artillery range from the Donetsk city. So of course artillery range can be rather far. So from the center of Avdiivka to to the center of Donetsk city is around 14 kilometers. 14 kilometers is definitely well within range of even standard artillery. So if they can push them back further, maybe make it up to 30 kilometers. So for example, maybe push to maybe how do I push up? Okay, so maybe around 30 kilometers. That will put most artillery that we know out of range of Donetsk city. But of course, this is not so simple because every meter is very hard to capture in a heavily entrenched region. And there is also a Ukrainian attack, counter-offensive over at the Avdiivka region. However, it's not clear exactly where in Avdiivka is this fighting reported. And that's all from the Donetsk front. There's no action reported north of Avdiivka, nor at New York or Donetsk region. Then moving on to the Bakhmut Front. So this is Bakhmut Front, and this is Bakhmut city. Bakhmut Front, there is a Ukrainian counteroffensive reported at Kupyansk in this region here, and according to the Russian Defense Ministry, and there is fighting reported south of Bakhmut city at Opyne, and there is fighting reported southeast of Bakhmut as well as south of Bakhmut. So the information is a mixed bag of from Ryber, the pro-Russian source, and as well as from Deep State UA, which is a pro-Ukrainian source. And then there is also information that Russian forces has been spotted 4 kilometers northeast of Bakhmut. So this is according to Ryber, where they said that the Ukrainian forces revealed that there is a Russian units 4 kilometers northeast of Bakhmut advancing. So that's interesting. Moving on to Soledar, there is fighting reported at Soledar. Fighting direction comes from the northeast direction, which is probably more or less still the same place. The front line has not really changed. And that's all from the Bakhmut front. Moving on to the Siversk Front. At the Siversk Front, the Russians are also, putting their focus effort around this area, where there's fighting reported at Vasily and Bilohorivka. This information coming from Volgonzo, where they are pushing this direction, and there is also fighting reported at Verkhem-Okhanyansk, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. So this settlement has been proving to be extremely difficult to capture, and the Russians have been trying really hard to capture this town since the fall of Luhansk, or the capture of Luhansk region. And moving up north, at the Bilohorivka, both sides are reporting, both by Ryber and by the Ukrainian armed forces, that they are the one defending Bilohorivka, and the opposing side is actually launching the offensive. So fighting, but regardless what it is, there is fighting reported at Bilohorivka. That's all from the Siversk Front. Moving on to the Kreminna Front. Kreminna, there is no reports of fighting for today. We haven't seen anything just yet. And moving to up north to the Svatove Front. At the Svatove region, the Ukrainians continue to be launching the main offensive around here. So out of the entire Ukraine war at this moment, the main Ukrainian offensive is currently here over at the Svatove Front, and fighting is reported at Kolomyshaika and at Stelmakivka. Stelmakivka is a bit conflicting because both sides are reporting that they are the one defending. Ryber, the pro-Russian source, is reporting that the Ukrainians are actually launching the attack, while the Ukrainian armed forces saying that they are the one that is defending Stelmakivka. And over at at Novoselivsky. The Russian Defense Ministry reported the Ukrainians are attacking them, and also the continuous or ongoing saga at Kuzymivka. And there's fighting reported at Berestove, and also at Pishane. These are probably more like recon by combat, So that's all from the Svatove Front. There is nothing over at the Kupyansk region, nor at the eastern front line of Kupyansk city. There is also nothing happening over here at the north and northeast of Kupyansk, which I originally thought that the Russians would actually do a major push in this region. Apparently, they are just very happy with the lines that they have set up. So that's all from the Kupyansk Front. And that's all from the SITREP for the 266 for the 16th of November. And please check out the description below. There is a Patreon, coffee.com. There's the Discord channel, the Telegram, and of course the Twitter and whatnot. And also do subscribe to the DPA War channel if you have not. And I'll see you in the next update.